Ladies and gentlemen, there is an outbreak of polio going on up in New York. Hundreds of cases have cropped up in a short period of time. So, New York Health Department says hundreds of people may be infected with polio. Wow. New York State health officials have found indications of additional cases of polio in wastewater samples from two different counties, leading them to warn that hundreds of people may be infected with the potentially serious virus. Just 2 weeks ago, the New York Health Department reported the nation's first case of polio in almost a decade in Rockland County, north of New York City. Officials said that the case occurred in a previously healthy young adult. So this person never had any jabs, all right? And they did develop paralysis in their legs. Since then, three positive wastewater samples from Rockland County and four from neighboring Orange County were discovered and genetically linked to the first case. So, you know what that means, y'all? It could really technically be thousands of people with this thing, but it's right now it's gone undetected. They're not feeling any symptoms. They don't feel that anything is wrong, but they actually have it. That's what it means. Now they're saying hundreds, but it could be well beyond that. Everybody don't feel the effects of every single virus, ladies and gentlemen. Some people feel just like the stuff that's going on now. Some people feel it, some don't. I had it and I barely felt a symptom. And that might be the case with many people with the polio. So I think it's bigger than what they're telling us. This is just my opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're saying Orange County were discovered and genetically linked to the first case, the health department said in a press release on Thursday, suggesting that the polio virus is being spread within local communities. Yes, and it is highly contagious. The newest samples were taken from two locations in Orange County in June, and in July, one location in Rockland County. Okay. So, based on earlier polio outbreaks, New Yorkers should know that for every one case, all right, that somebody actually becomes paralyzed from this thing observed, there may be hundreds of other people infected. The state health commissioner, Dr. Mary T. Bassett, said, coupled with the latest wastewater findings, the department is treating the single case of polio as just the tip of the iceberg of a much greater potential spread. As we learn more, we will do as much as possible. The danger of polio is present in New York today. Mm-mm-mm. The health department reiterated that it is still investigating the origins of where this thing possibly came from and said that it is not yet clear whether the infected person in Rockland County was linked to other cases. Polio is a serious, life threatening disease. The state health department said it is highly contagious. That's why I'm telling you, y'all, I think it is thousands that got this thing, not hundreds. I think it's thousands. If it's in the wastewater, it's got to be a lot of people with it right now. And I think they're downplaying it by saying hundreds. It is highly contagious and can be spread by people who aren't even symptomatic. Exactly. Symptoms usually appear within 30 days of infection. It can be mild or flu like. Some people who are infected may become paralyzed or die. Yeah, it is really debilitating for real. I remember when I was a child and when I was at school, our teacher showed us a short clip of polio. Woo, those people were in bad shape. They were in bad shape, and it was an awful lot of them that were bedridden. And just as a sidebar, Emmett Till had polio. His mother, Mamie, said in an interview years ago that I had watched that Emmett had polio. And after he recovered from polio, that's when he started stuttering. But she said prior to that, he never talked with a stutter at all. Okay, so before the polio vaccine was introduced in the 1950s, thousands of Americans died in polio outbreaks, and tens of thousands, and many of them children, were left with paralysis. So America declared polio as being eradicated around 1979. But as you can see, it's not eradicated at all. So they're saying these are New Yorkers that never got any kind of jab and they were never immunized towards for polio. But you know what, y'all? Probably millions of people in this country never got anything as a child. Probably millions. And you're going to always have a vulnerable group of people out here. Especially, when I see something like this, I think about homeless people on the streets that really have nowhere to go. If they get this and become paralyzed, you see what they do. They'll just throw them out on the street with a hospital gown on. They don't want to deal with somebody that's homeless and don't have nothing. Can you imagine how many of them that try to get help for polio and they ultimately get thrown on the streets? We've seen those videos where they will just literally throw them out. Even if they're in a wheelchair and all, they just get rid of them. All right. Most school age children have received a polio vaccine, which is a 4-dose course, started between 6 weeks and 2 months of age, followed by one shot at 4 months, one shot at 6 to 12 months, and one shot at ages 4 to 6. According to the health department, about 60% of children in Rockland County have received at least three polio shots before their second birthday, and about 59% in Orange County, both below 79% statewide. This is the figure they were able to come up with. So, according to the CDC, the most recent childhood vaccination data was about 93% of 2-year-olds in the US received at least 3 doses of the polio vaccine. The vaccine is 99% effective in children who receive the full 4 course. Okay. And this is according to health officials. So it's concerning that polio, a disease that have been largely eradicated through, getting uh, vaccines, is now circulating in our community, especially given the low rates of this vaccine for the debilitating disease in certain areas of the county. Orange County Health Commissioner Dr. Irina Gelman said, "I urge unvaccinated Orange County residents to get the treatment immediately. Rockland County Health Department Commissioner Patricia Snable Rupert issued a statement calling on people that never got any type of polio vaccine to get it immediately. Polio has rarely appeared in the US since it declared, it was declared eradicated 40 years ago. The last reported case was brought by a traveler that came into the United States in 2013. This is according to the Associated Press. Yeah, a lot of these people that come across the border, they don't have um, a lot of these vaccines, and many of them come across the border with even smallpox, chickenpox, other things, and I'm sure polio too. But, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. This is crazy to think up in New York, there could be a lot of polio cases going on right now. But we will see in the next 30 days how many people will show symptoms in New York. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.